Okay, so I think we're live. I just got a message from Emmanuel. So welcome everybody to VBS, Virtual Blockchain Summit. Welcome to all of you from United States, from Canada, from Europe, from all around the world. My name is Adrian Sischin. I am the moderator today for this slot of the event entitled Revenue Streams in Cryptocurrency Industry. So we have a great speakers with us today. Mru Patel, Waseem, David Schnetzer, Bogdan Albu, and Tony Evans. So many thanks to all of you to join us today. If you'd like to introduce a couple of elements about yourself, and then we're just gonna get going. So I'm gonna start with you, Mru.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mru Patel. For those of you who watched the intro video, you should have seen a little bit about me. There's a lot of feedback on this, so I hope people can hear it. Has someone got the speakers on? Maybe that's why it's picking it up. If someone's got the speaker on, that's why it's bouncing. And it's echoing. Adrian, you came in last, so it must be you. We were fine before you joined. Okay, so yeah, my name is Mru Patel. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and yes, it was Adrian's microphone that's not working. That's why now it's fine. So Adrian, let us get on with it. I'm a serial entrepreneur, public speaker, currently the co-founder and chairman of Betra.eu, as well as Let's Beat Coronavirus. So I'm here to help people transform into the new digital transformation world, as well as make life easy for people to trade and make money, which is what this topic's all about.
Awesome. So let's move to Waseem.
Sure. Hey, everyone. I'm Waseem. I'm with Celsius Network. I'm a solutions architect. So I get to handle a little bit of the product side and also handle some of the business development side, make sure they work nicely together. So any new initiatives coming into the product, I get to have a hand in making those come to life. So I'm happy to be here with you all today.
Awesome. Welcome. And David Schnetzer from Austria.
So, hi guys. My name is David. I'm the CEO of cryptocurrency custody solution here in Austria, and we are the link between the old economy, typical financial market. We're talking about banks, family offices, investment bonds, and the whole financial market industry. And we are the link between the blockchainers and the old economy to make this whole thing more, the whole stuff around the community more transparent for the old economy. We are highly regulated. We have ISO certification 27001, and we have we are regulated by the Financial Market Authority from Austria. Yeah, and for revenue streams and cryptocurrencies, we also offer the solution to do masternode staking, proof of stake, delegated proof of stake, you know, the whole stuff about staking, and also masternode sharing. I think that's interesting because we have developed our own offline solution for this. So we have offline private key custody and have also the possibility to stake all tokens. Yeah.
Welcome, David.
I think the next person should just carry on. Adrian's mic is really playing up. Who? Just carry on. Whoever the next person is, unmute and carry on. Adrian,
hi guys, I will start if it's okay.
Yeah.
So my name is Bogdan Albu. I am an international business consultant for brokerage companies across the world. I offer consulting services from setup to restructuring to technology operational management, and also I work as a, let's say, consultant for startups, as I collaborate with a few incubators and accelerators, and I also helped a few crypto exchanges recently to enter into such programs, and it's a pleasure to meet all of you. It's something new to me. I am more accustomed to the, let's say, brokerage or more traditional environment, and it's a real pleasure to be here.
Okay, who hasn't spoken or introduced themselves?
Me, Tony Evans. I'm co-founder of the FGC Group, based out in Tokyo, but we're a global company dealing with investors. Other side, we help investors create portfolios that to invest into the blockchain and crypto projects, but also create the traditional portfolio for them. On the other side of the business, we're also doing a lot of acquisitions of projects that have failed, and we're either merging them together with existing businesses or merging the projects together and relaunching them, and that goes for asset stripping as well. So we're focusing on the traditional and the old, more on the finance side. I'm not a tech guy, and I'm more on the finance side. So it's exactly as David is, the old and the new together, and I think it's a good combination of it all, of the old and the new. So yeah, looking forward to the discussion, guys.
Okay, I guess that's everyone introduced. Adrian, can you just try and put the headphone on, because it's just poor every time you come on. So just try and put a headphone in. Let me kick off with the first question that you gave me. Okay.
Okay. Why
So
don't
just
you
try
do
and put
that?
a headphone.
Ultimately, it's
So Adrian's first question was, how do people in this current marketplace make money and enter into the crypto space? Where are the opportunities? How would we, as a panelist group over here, advise people to do? So of course I can kick it off, and then people can add to it. Okay, so let's try and kick it.
But not financial advice, correct?
And by the way, so I was that's the first thing I would say. Please do not take this as financial advice. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, as with all industries. This is not financial advice. So for those of you who are what we call in the crypto space newbies, first and foremost, it's like any investment. And you know, Bogdan and David and Tony and all these people and myself, I've come from old school as well, including real estate investments and .com days investments as well. So with anything, do your own research. So learn about what is this crypto all about. And then in terms of making revenue, there are a number of different ways of making revenue. All comes down to you as a person, your risk profile, how much risk you're gonna take, what are you willing to lose? So think that way, and then make the decision whether you're a low, medium, high risk person. Based on that, there are a whole ton of things, and I can kick off and maybe people can add to this, having just finished a book on a crypto guide and what blockchain and crypto is all about, where to invest, how to invest, things along those lines. So the big subjects for me are the places where people can invest is the obvious. First, it's about trading. So different trading strategies. You buy and hold, buy and trade as a day trader, or you just do different types of trading, meaning derivatives, options, futures, those sorts of things with leverage and margin. With all of these things, it has its own risks. If you don't know, please don't think that if you've been a Forex trader or a stock market trader, the crypto trading is the same. Having made and lost lots of money, believe me, crypto trading is not the same, purely because there's a lot of sentiment analysis that comes in. You will hear terms like hodl and to the moon and Lambos and all these things. So be absolute. There you go. Waseem's going the hodl. So there is lots of these things. So sentiment analysis, and you know, as I said, I've written a book on it as well. And I was talking to a guy called Daryl Guppy, who's got his own books and trading schemes and his own patterns and strategies. And Daryl and me, we talk about this all the time. He's old school. I'm crypto and old school. So people's sentiment analysis coming. So you don't know when people are going to buy and dump and things like that. So be very, very, very careful about that. I've got a whole list of these. You know, there are various ways of doing it. Someone mentioned staking. I think it was David. So staking, mining, all these are fantastic ways of making money. You know, having an investment plan into some masternode that, you know, on automatic pilot basically is just making you some money. It won't be the big money, but in my view, it's again based on your risk profile, what you do. There are
Can I-
various network marketing things as well. So look at network marketing ways of doing it. If you want to do nothing, there are these things you'll hear about, these airdrops and things like that, trading bots, AI, ML, sensitive analysis, deep learning trading bots, which is what we are defining as well. So this just gives you a flavor. I've got a whole list, but let the other guys speak, and then we can take it on from there.
Cool. I want to speak because you had mentioned like part of this panel is talking directly to crypto newbies, people that are just kind of getting into the space. And a lot of these terms, right? There's HODL, there's trading strategies, there's AI this. You can throw all these like crazy terms, and it sounds very alarming sometimes. And really, a lot of times, I mean, it is. You're as a retail base, like as someone who is just coming in, they're used to depositing their paycheck into a bank, right? It's going to be pretty hard to get up and running with like some kind of trading strategies of your own. So within the crypto space, I mean, there's a whole series of terms you can learn and tools that you can use to trade and build your own wealth. But then there's also other types of passive wealth strategies, such as just lending your funds to Celsius Network, where we're running a loans business in the background, and you can earn interest rates of up to, I think, 10% on stablecoins, which are dollar-backed, and 4% on Bitcoin. And now, kind of elaborating past that, one of the things that I think is extremely important for people that are coming into the space, right, is like you can have all these different, like someone will tell you, oh, check out an airdrop, right? But in order to check out an airdrop, you first have to do your due diligence on the company. You have to understand their background. You have to know where you can trade it, right? So stick to what you're comfortable with. And a lot of us are just comfortable with the concept of dollars and the concept of a bank account. The wonderful thing about the crypto space is that we're asset agnostic, right? We've built all these new asset classes, but you can take anything that's traditional, so gold or dollars or euros or pounds or whatever, have that sit on the Ethereum blockchain, right? It is now a crypto asset, and then lend that to Celsius or lend that to a group that will operate just as a retail bank, and you can earn money that way. So,
and Waseem, there are also these other companies who just allow you to put them in and just stake on them, and you can get anything from 8% up to even 20%, I've seen. So as you said, and I've mentioned as well, all depends on you, your personal risk profile, things like that. Bogdan or anybody else, would you like to add to that?
Of course, it's the whole thing is it's all to do with any newbie, with any investment. My background's in wealth management. It's all about emotion. It's greed and fear. We're human beings in the end, and everything is perceived by this. It's either greed or fear, or the perception of greed or fear. That's where the market goes up or down. So the whole thing is you have to have your control of your emotions. If you lose enough in the market, you start learning that very quickly, and then can go forward. So my advice, but do your own research. I think everybody's going to keep on saying do your own research. This is not financial advice, but personally, the way I look at it is, if you want to create a core portfolio with the traditionals and stuff like that, with buy and hold, okay, then in my own portfolio, my client's portfolio, we have assets into income generating assets like mining, and also like Sirius with the lending and stuff like that with income. And then we've got more speculative into the new projects. It's with finance, it's very, very simple. You buy low and sell high. It's and then you just continue to do that by controlling the emotions, in my view. So.
Yeah, and David, if I can bring you in as well, David, you talk about the whole thing about staking, loans, which Waseem and I both have touched. Anything else you'd like to add over there? Other strategies, other ways of where people can make money on this?
Yeah, for me, I'm not targeting the B2C business. So for me, it's more important for B2B business, because there is a lot of financial advisor outside in the market, and they are struggling because of their old economy products. You know, the interest that they can deliver are not that high because of in Central Europe, it's horrible. You know, like the interest from you get from a bank account or something else. So they have less products, and they don't earn money if they offer some customers an advice, for example, to buy Bitcoin, to buy Ethereum, and a lot of token. So we developed a solution that the advisor can do onboarding with a complete KYC and anti-AML process, and they can earn from the assets they have under management. Okay, like a management fee that is charged annual. Okay, that's my target I can offer to the market for the B2B business.
I'm just curious, David, if I can interrupt. You mentioned custody early on. Is it money to be made in the custody? I mean, are people, institutions, or even retail type of people capable to or willing to pay just for the custody?
Absolutely.
Yes, of course, because they are too boring.
Well, it's required.
Too lazy. They are too lazy in general. Okay, security costs money. That's the reason why we can charge. It's very easy. It's like a bank account. You can take your euros or you can take your dollars and put it on behind your bed, and it's easy.
Yeah,
but,
no.
Yeah.
If I can add to that, David, unfortunately, the ICO era of 2 years ago gave crypto a bad name. Okay, 95% of them were found to be either scammy or lost people's money and said, sorry, this is the way it is. The second thing that gave crypto a bad name.
The last 2 years.
Yeah, that's why I said
the last 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said 2 years ago. I was on stage with Tim Draper and all this, debating in the heat of this when it was ICO. I said, no, I'm old school. I want asset-backed. I want security-backed coins. End of story. Don't try and do this non-asset-based ICOs. I need asset-backed security. That's why custodian services, in my view, is very, very important, or something that is pegged against some asset. It could be bonds, it could be USDT. If it's dollar, it could be gold, but something that an investor can see. Here's another one I'll throw in. You know, for people, newbies out here, I'm sure they see IEO this and SEO this and STO this and ICOs, I don't know how, but they're still alive, okay?
I'd like to make a point on this.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say. So the point I'm making here is, please, all these O's, be very careful. My first and foremost thing is, like any investment fund that you go and invest, even if you've never invested in crypto, you may have invested in something. It could be an ISA or a savings plan. You do some research on it. People is, for me, the top. If the person hasn't carried a bag or lost money or made money or never run financials, that is not someone I would invest in, all right? And a lot of new people who've never run any business are trying to do this and think it's easy to run it as a business. The second most thing is, you will find a lot of technology geeks, for want of better words, who've never even had a responsibility of counting and owning other people's money, you know? So they have no sense of ownership. Sorry to say, they just dream on Lambos and to the moon and think, oh, collect this, raise 20 million, 50 million, and we are not accountable. Hence why, coming back to this, David, and custodian services is bloody important. And laws is the third thing. Exchanges, you know, one of the things people need to work out, and we touched on sensitivity and psychology analysis, they are the whales. So because it's not regulated that well, there are so many chat groups who timely say, buy at this time, sell at this time, and manipulate the market a lot more than they can in the stock market or the Forex market or anything else. Why? Because the other one has 7 odd trillion trading all the time, and crypto doesn't have that much volume. So, you know, even a few hundred millions, even 100 million would change the market radically. And people are constantly coming in and out, especially the bad actors that we know out in various parts of the world, including the 2 big ones, and I'll name them, Sachs and JP Morgan likes.
So Waseem, you wanted to add something, and then I'm going to turn it back to Bogdan to ask if there is also some money into trading. But if you want Waseem to add up your point.
Cool. Yeah. I just wanted to make a quick point on the whole ICO market, right? Like, it definitely got a bad name, but I think that like, if you were to take the amount of failed investments that happen in the traditional VC world, right? The same ratio, I think it's like 1 in 10 they expect to fail, and you were to port that over into the logic of the ICO world, right? I think that what was unique about ICOs is that more and more people had the opportunity to enter into this market. They had the opportunity to expose themselves to the potential upside, right? And in traditional markets, in traditional VC markets, right, you have the same type of dreamy-eyed 19-year-old who hasn't finished school. He saw Mark Zuckerberg drop out of college and then tells this crazy story and then ends up probably losing your money, right? But
slightly losing
the
your money.
issue that I have with how we've characterized the ICO world is that ICOs in of themselves are not an issue, right? It's just that more people have been exposed to the losses, and therefore you have a higher amount of attention towards the downside, right? But Celsius, for example, we ran an ICO. That's how we brought ourselves and got ourselves the initial capital to get where we are today. And now our users have had exposure to the upside of that ICO market, and it worked out for them. So ratio-wise, I think it's about the same with traditional markets, but it definitely did affect a lot of people, and there are a lot of scams. So again, do your...
Yeah, but that's what I said, Waseem. It's down to people. At the end of the day, it's nothing to do with technology. It's the people. The
Exactly.
ICO.
And
Really.
the thing is, you think about it, it's the same thing with the internet bubbles, okay?
Yeah, I was there with Sun Microsystems, believe me,
exactly.
I know it.
The thing is, okay, history doesn't repeat itself, it mirrors itself, yeah? And the thing is, because we have the people involved, the greed and fear factor is the thing that pushes it up. And the thing is, there's also a downward time, and then it comes back up again. It's nature's law. You have to get rid of the bad to get to the good, okay? And I'm a very simple person. I believe the old traditional ways is with all these technology and everything like that, it's great. But the thing is, making money is simple. You buy and you sell, okay? And you make a profit and you just repeat it, okay? And that's the way I'm looking at it. And I agree. Sorry, Adrian, I jumped in because I know you want to go back to Bogdan,
No.
so I can see you looking good. But he wants to talk, so sorry, Bogdan, after you, sorry.
No,
It's okay. So Bogdan,
quite...
since you mentioned buying and selling, I think this is right up your alley. So if you want to talk a little bit about the trading and see if there is still any money into it with the decreasing margins and the pressures and the higher amount of competitors right now. So
yeah, I mean, for me, it's quite easy. So when we're talking about these channels or ways of making money, this discussion has been lasting for years in the community. So some see cryptos primarily as some kind of digital cash that you can use in everyday life. Others argue that they're a store of value, while others see cryptos as a vehicle of volatility. And this can exist primarily for trading purposes. And while we are debating this aspect of vehicles of volatility, we can access them via derivatives. For example, futures and derivative trading is something normal, a normal step towards market maturity in the crypto world, the way I see it. So especially in the current, let's say, economic fallout that is driving volatility in both traditional and crypto markets, this is creating quite a favorable environment for crypto derivative products to thrive. So when we are looking at derivatives or let's say CFDs that usually the brokers have, and when we compare those to futures, I mean, they sound very similar, as many new traders believe that they are completely identical. However, there are some differences between these two kinds of products. So for example, the futures have this expiration dates, the CFDs don't. You can keep these CFDs for as long as you want. So basically, when you liquidate CFDs, for example, the difference in price is automatically calculated and paid. And for example, futures tend to trade on large exchanges, and they have a higher minimum commitment. And since they are, let's say, they are meant to be used by institutional investors. And additionally, something very positive for futures, which you don't have on CFDs, is that they usually trade on open markets where the order book is visible to all. So you can see the volume, which is something quite important, because when you're talking, let's say, trading strategies, you can look at volume and volatility of the instruments to start with, you know. So this is something that usually CFDs don't allow you, because you're just trading with a broker, with a counterparty. And you see only the price. So of course, with CFDs you can also short sell, but you must pay attention that many lose money trying to enter these kinds of short selling strategies. So let's say a CFD account would be easier to open than a futures account. So there might be some aspects there that can.
No, Bogdan, sorry. Anybody can open a futures account. Anyone can open. Having done a futures and options trading platform 18 months ago and took it to over $1 billion in trading volume, let me tell you, anybody can open one of those. What I'm saying here is futures, options, CFDs. In my view, those are all in the extremely high risk investment strategies. All right. So for a newbie, forget it.
No, for sure.
I call that gambling, organized gambling to a certain amount as well, really. And by the way, I was president of one of them, and I'm now putting on one of these. However, if you have proper strategies and proper deep learning, AI, ML-based, back-tested strategies, this can be very good. This is where the world is going now. Because us people in blockchain have made it too complicated for people to invest in this. So we got to make it easy.
Well, I want to thank every single one of you, as well as for our viewers. Many thanks again for our sponsors. We're getting to a close. Hope to see you on the next events, and stay with VBS.live. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks, Adrian.